welcome to episode 6 of season 4 of Motion Picture Meltdown. Joining me today, Mark the Shark Hinton.
Hey, hey.
And Phil the Kill Collins.
What's up, guys?
I'm Steven the Roast Rosenberg, and for you today we will be podcasting the Pee Wee Herman movies, starring Paul Reubens as Pee Wee Herman.
No, it's Pee Wee Herman as himself.
That's Pee Wee Herman as Paul Reubens as Pee Wee Herman.
Paul Reubens as Pee Wee Herman as Pee Wee Herman?
Yes. We'll start out with Pee Wee's Big Adventure from 1985. A lot of people don't know this, but directed by Tim Burton, written by Paul Reubens and Phil Hartman, which I actually didn't know.
Yeah, he's in the movie, too.
And Pee Wee's Big Adventure was actually Tim Burton's first feature-length film as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can tell it's Tim Burton.
Definitely.
It still creeps the fuck out of me.
5 seconds into the movie, you can tell it's
With
Tim
all the
Burton.
little invention crap, with his breakfast machine, the dog bone thing, and how creepy everything is, and the fact that Pee Wee Herman looks completely out of place compared to every other person in the world.
Well, not only that, but like the Danny Elfman music that comes along with it. Like Tim Burton is, I guess, synonymous for working with
Danny Elfman
on his movies.
I honestly don't think he's ever worked without Danny Elfman. I think he would die.
His Danny Elfman life cord has been pulled. I feel like
my hair has to be brushed now.
I feel like Danny Elfman would have jumped ship after like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and all the ass that Tim Burton's put out in the last couple of years.
The dude was in Oingo Boingo. I don't think he's going to jump ship on shit. Honestly though, Tim Burton, I really haven't enjoyed anything he's put out since Big Fish. That was I say he jumped the shark. Well, all he's done since then were remakes. That's all he's done. Yeah, Alice in Wonderland, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Sweeney Todd. What the fuck did he just have? He was the producer of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Frankenweenie.
Yeah, he's remaking his own fucking movies. Like, how fucking pathetic are you where you have to go, you know what, I didn't make this good enough the first time, so let's make it very Nightmare Before Christmas-ish, like I've already done at least 100 times, and then let's remake my own shit.
I think he just, like, and I do respect Tim Burton as an actor. No, not an actor, as a director, because he has made some of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Like, Beetlejuice was probably my favorite Tim Burton. Either Beetlejuice or Batman Returns. Those two are, like, probably two of my favorite Tim Burton movies.
Big Fish and Beetlejuice with me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people love Edward Scissorhands. I loved it. And then you've got
Sleepy Hollow,
which
technically is a remake, but it was still good.
Like it.
He did do that shitty Planet of the Apes remake, though.
That's true.
Fuck him in his goat ass. That was the start of his, well, it's just time for me to make shit now.
Well, all he did after that was Sleepy Hollow and Big Fish.
Yeah.
That were good. And I think him and Johnny Depp just need to...
They need to break up.
Cut the cord.
Yeah, they need to break up.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp needs to make a movie that doesn't have anything to do with Tim Burton, and Tim Burton needs to just not make any more movies.
Yeah. Or at least no more remakes, please.
Yeah, please, we beg of you.
Tim Burton,
and just stop putting your wife in your movies.
And look, his hair's all fucked. Like, see, here's the thing. One of the first movie he ever makes is Pee Wee Herman, which is, though I respect Pee Wee Herman, I grew up watching all the Pee Wee Herman stuff. I love it. It's hilarious. I follow the guy on Twitter because I genuinely think he's cool. But he is really creepy and rapey.
Oh,
and
extremely.
Tim Burton's hair makes him look like a rapey motherfucker. And what does he do now? Rapes my childhood. That's what he fucking does. Fuck Tim Burton.
Let's talk about, like, Pee-wee's just laugh in general, which, you know, he's famous for. You get the little Pee-wee dolls. I mean, anybody who associates anything with Pee Wee Herman associates his many laughs.
Gross.
And as you said...
rapey, though.
Oh, yes.
But rapey.
Very. And as you said, with his breakfast inventions and things like that, he didn't
even eat it.
Yeah, he didn't eat his breakfast.
Took one bite of his
Mr.
fucking
T
breakfast.
cereal.
Yeah.
Good morning, Pee-wee. Good morning, Mr. Breakfast. Can I have some Mr. T cereal? Okay. I pity the poor fool. Don't eat my cereal.
Like, it just sounds like he's having screaming fits.
He's by himself. He's talking to his breakfast.
He has a dog.
He's clearly fucking insane.
Yeah, he's not talking to his dog.
He's not though. I'm just saying that it's there.
He does, but he talks to the fucking sandwich just more, or whatever it was.
He talks to everything.
Yeah.
Everything in this movie. And in the second one. He talks to fucking plants and shit.
Yeah. And where does he get his money? This is what I asked Philip the other day. He has got an awesome house.
I just figured it out. He's on government disability for being absolutely batshit insane.
I don't know if he could get that much money.
Yeah, he has like a secret fucking layer attached to his house that he puts a key code in, and
like satellites go all over the place.
Yeah.
It's the Pee Wee rape cave.
Yeah.
And just, bloop, there comes the bike that he jizzes in his pants over. And then lo and behold, he gets stolen.
And then they have like the painted light on the wall behind the bicycle.
Yeah.
So creepy. Get that the fuck out.
One of my favorite parts about his house, though, is when he walks into the bathroom and he looks out the window and he's like, like it's a nice day out, and suddenly he walks away and then fish start swimming up through the window because it's underwater. It's like, what the fuck?
He goes down the fire pole and he's just suddenly dressed.
Dressed, yeah.
Like the old Batman fucking show from the 60s.
It's so fucking weird. Like,
I think the most disturbing thing to me in the first scene, weirdly enough, is the novelty-sized like dinner fork and knife.
What about his toothbrush?
Well, his
giant toothbrush.
Because he's a fucking man-child. Giant toothbrush, giant fork and knife that he gets regular-sized butter with.
Speaking of man-child, how about the conversation that he has with Francis, who is the other man-child in the movie, who is actually in
Teen Wolf and Teen Wolf 2.
Yeah.
There's the fat guy that's obviously a high school kid.
Right.
He's not 38.
Obviously, yeah.
I wouldn't sell my bike for all the money in the world. Not for $100 billion, million, trillion dollars.
Then you're crazy.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're a nerd.
I know you are, but what am I?
You're an idiot.
I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I? Infinity.
It just keeps going. And like after that, there's even another section where they're just
continuously arguing
the shit out of each other.
And the viewers as well, very aggravated at this point.
Oh god! But how many times as a kid did you fucking do that?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, straight up got in trouble at school for doing that shit. I would get like you if you don't stop at no recess.
All right,
I know you are, but what am I?
If you don't stop at no recess,
yeah,
they just mock
you don't
it.
stop at no recess. Just scream. That's the word of the day.
But you can tell, like we were talking about, you can totally tell it's perfect for Tim Burton. It really is, because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's real campy and silly and goofy with elements of everything in the world that's creepy and Tim Burton and rapey.
Yeah.
A lot of super creepy lighting. Just everything is just crazy shapes.
Like
what about Scary Clown? Scary Robo Clown.
Right before that, when he goes into the trick store,
the magic store,
and he's got like the X-ray glasses on, and he's looking at the woman. And he's like, yeah.
Also, what about the fact that he's like a fucking asexual the entire movie? Like, people are constantly trying to mac on him, and he's just like, fuck you.
Oh, yeah, like Dottie. Super hot.
I'm just trying to be 5 years old right now.
I think Dottie is beautiful.
She is beautiful.
And he's just like, I'm a loner, Dottie. I'm a rebel.
However, in Big Top Pee Wee, he's trying to just ramrod everything.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, I know, exactly. It's totally a fucking flip-flop.
Yeah, you can, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit, but that's like a major difference between the movies. I don't feel like the second one is a Pee Wee Herman movie.
It's not nearly as rapey.
Well, it is, though. Like,
yeah, no, it's rapey in a real rapey way. It's not in that innuendo rapey.
Right,
it's like, he's like, I need to get laid, but he can't get laid, so he's trying to bang all the broads. Like, just all of them.
No, but that's like one of the big differences that I've noticed is like in the first one he's kind of doesn't want anything to do with Dottie
because they really play on the him being a man child thing. He's a big kid. He's like, girls, man.
Yeah. I like you, Dottie. Like, he's
like, I like you, but I don't want to kiss you right now or ever.
Where in the second one, he's like jump macking on his fiance.
She's like, straight up dessert,
making out, and then he actually gets laid in the second one. And there's like
train going into the tunnel scene.
God, that fucking train.
Fireworks,
lava.
But we'll get to Big Top in a little bit, but. To go back to the premise of Big Adventure, of course, he has this amazing bike with rocket boosters and oil slicks on it and stuff like that.
Ejector seat, a lion face horn.
And he ties it to Mark's Nightmare Clown.
It's scary! Fucking clown is scary.
It's not any scarier than the fucking, like, Dr. Clowns later that are making some kind of crazy...
Ooh, yeah, that was real scary, too.
That fucking part.
with Francis as the devil.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
No! I mean, fucking giant pot of boiling bicycle.
Yeah. But it's stolen by Francis, and he doesn't want to get in trouble, so he gets rid of it. And basically, it just turns into a movie of Pee Wee going... Well, he thinks it's in, San Antonio, in the Alamo, in the basement, 'cause some crazy-ass...
Some fucking rip-off.
Oh, the fucking Miss Cleo tarot card reader.
Yeah.
It's like, the Alamo.
I see a bicycle.
And I didn't get a clip of it, but one of my favorite parts of this movie is when he's walking down the alley in the rain, and the muggers come up to him, and start like, "Hey, you're not from around here." And he just hisses at them, and they all run away.
I'll be sure to remember that. The next time I'm in the inner city and 7 people try to jump me in the rain, I'll just hiss at them, and then I'll just run away, because their swords are no longer valid.
Well, he hisses at the midget in the second movie, too.
Yeah, he hisses a lot.
Ugliest midget alive.
He encounters, like, a convict, which is pretty funny, and he dresses like that. Like, he looks like olive oil, and he's ugly.
Yeah, dressed like a woman so he could
Shelley
hide
Duvall.
her from the
He looked like Shelley Duvall.
God damn it! That almost ruined The Shining for me.
So what did you do? You know those mattresses that have the tags on them?
Yeah, like that's
Cut one of those off. It's like fucking psycho. You cut off a fucking mattress tag. He's on a lamb.
Yeah, and he ends up leaving that guy, and then, immediately after that, hitchhikes and comes in contact with Large Marge.
And when they finally pulled the driver's body from the twisted, burning wreck, it looked like this.
And that scene was so scary when I was little. Like,
It's so terrible and cheesy now, though.
It's like
it does not hold
awful
up.
claymation. Yeah.
Some of the worst claymation.
I think we talked about that scene in the Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, because one of the monsters looked like Large Marge. That sewer monster looked like Large Marge. It was gross.
And, Pee-wee doesn't want to hang out with Large Marge anymore, and she says,
Have a nice day.
Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
So he gets to the diner and, of course, tells all the truckers.
Large Marge sent me.
And everybody just starts freaking out because apparently Large Marge is this ghost now.
Yeah.
And
died in a terrible wreck. That's what she was telling the story about how she fucking died.
Pretty goddamn scary, honestly. I mean, if it wasn't so silly, it would be really...
It's like it really happened.
It's like the reverse of the usual urban legend of the ghost
Right.
hitchhiker, where the hitchhiker that somebody picks up is a ghost. This time, you're the hitchhiker and you get picked up by a ghost. Like, can you imagine riding in a floating invisible semi-truck? That's really weird.
And you go pretty far in it, too.
Yeah, real far.
So, and then he meets the diner chick. That seems okay, but they do hang out in a giant T-Rex, which is pretty cool.
It's the same T-Rex from The Wizard.
It is.
California.
California!
Shut up, you autistic fuck. Play Mario.
And then he gets on the train and meets the homeless guy. And they at first they're like buddy and singing all
Want
together.
some sardines?
Yeah. And
So
then
gross.
the homeless guy just keeps going, and he's like that person that you're talking to, you have a conversation with, and then the conversation's over.
And then he just doesn't...
They just keep talking, and you're like,
It's like, man, this guy's a cool guy. And then they're following you around. Hey, you want to talk? Hey, you got
Jimmy CrackCorn and I don't care. Jimmy CrackCorn and I don't care. Jimmy CrackCorn and I don't care.
jumps from the moving train.
First of all, as Philip was saying, how annoying do you have to be to annoy Pee Wee Herman to where he jumps off of a moving train without his shit? And secondly, that bum was obviously being obnoxious.
He's like trying to get him to leave. Like, no one ever acts that annoying.
Just-
like, no person.
Straight up a Vietnam vet that took way too much acid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it obviously has not talked to a living soul in at least 3 months.
PTSD.
Like the human version of Gollum living in a train. Did you bruise the precious?
He had like one tooth also.
And he was eating fish, raw, so he was Gollum.
There you go, Philip. He was Gollum.
Yeah. There's nothing. Yeah. Ew.
And then from there he stumbles onto the biker bar, which I thought was hilarious because he was on the phone.
Where the dance scene comes from, like the famous, tequila dance scene.
Yeah, and he's talking on the phone and walks back out. They all surround him. And they're like telling him it's a biker bar, and he has to get out. And he walks out there and like accidentally somehow knocks over every single motorcycle in the parking lot.
Such a classic gag.
The best part is when he leaves the biker bar and he's on the motorcycle and wrecks the
Just
shit out.
just runs straight through the sign, dead.
Yeah.
Like, it was like one of those real thick old wooden signs that's like just painted on wood.
Exactly.
Dead.
It
Yeah.
wasn't made of paper. He
Yeah.
would have been dead.
But like when he knocks over all the bikes and all the bikers pull him on the table.
I say we stop them. Yeah. Then we tattoo them. Yeah. Then we hang them. Yeah. And then we kill them. Yeah. I say we let him go. No.
Fucking Danny Trejo back there.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. It looked like a whole bunch of Danny Trejos.
Yeah, dude.
Scary biker Mexicans from hell.
Mm-hmm.
I say we let him go.
Fucking Mr. Bill voice.
And then he finally figures out that the bike is not in San Antonio, and he sees it.
Alamo does not, in fact,
have a basement. Right? Who would have thought?
Yes, of course. It's in the desert, so of course they had. I wouldn't have had a basement. Of course.
And who is the kid that's in everything? That we
fucking!
podcast?
It's Kevin Arnold's brother from
Wonder
Wonder
Years.
Years. He's in almost
God.
every goddamn movie that we've podcasted this season.
Yeah.
He was in Monster Squad. This movie. What else? Something else.
Get that coonskin cap the fuck out of here, though.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But no, he was in something else.
He was in something else. I can't remember though.
Fuck it, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll say it later.
I don't remember his name, but
Wayne. We're just gonna call him Wayne because that's what he was.
Wayne.
And he's always a fuck. Like in real life, I bet that's what he was. Oh, and he was in Trimmers. Whenever we did the Trimmers,
yeah,
he wasn't fucking Trimmers.
Yeah, he was Melvin.
Oh, that little bastard.
Jason Hervey is his name.
No, his name is Wayne.
No,
dude, he's fucking old now. He's 40.
Yeah,
look, but he still has the same fucking.
God, he still looks like he needs punched in the face.
Yeah, because he does need punched in the face.
Just Haley Joel Osment, same fucking face as whenever he was a child.
Yeah. And he was in Back to the Future.
He's always that one kid in the background that has something shitty to say.
Was he in Back to the Future too?
No, just the first one.
Okay.
He was Milton.
Fuck Milton.
He was in Frankenweenie though.
Another Tim Burton movie.
Yep. Yeah, and he's a complete asshole in this. Of course, Pee Wee steals his bike back, and then just starts. This is like one of my favorite parts of the movie too. Is when he starts going through all the different movie sets, and he's like collecting something from each movie set that he crashes through.
And it just turns out it's like Santa Claus and Godzilla riding in a sleigh, like
with a boat pulling it,
and like yeah.
Twisted Sister music video.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah,
I like how that scene starts whenever he's like, "All right, I'm gonna start a paper route right now," and he just gets on the bike and it's like everybody's, "What the fuck is he doing?"
They're all looking through the script.
Fucking hilarious.
It was great. I mean, I really enjoyed the first movie. Like, I hadn't seen it in so long, probably since I was a kid, and I watched it the other day, and I was like, this is really enjoyable.
It's a really fun movie, but Pee Wee Herman is not somebody you want at your kid's birthday party doing balloon animals.
No.
I mean, you really don't want a clown either. I mean, honestly, I don't.
No, you especially don't want the fucking clown that's
holding onto his bike.
Yeah, that's holding his bike, doing the little spin around, wave, laugh, thing. Creepy.
So this movie was insanely terrifying until the part where he's like doing tricks on his bicycle, trying to impress those little kids, and then he just immediately crashes his bike into the fucking curb and does like a million flips.
And then smashes his face, gets up, brushes himself off, and just goes, "I meant to do that." And he gets right back on his bike.
The fucking editing in that shot, it's just him riding his bike, and it's a real close shot, and then suddenly he's just flipping through the fucking air. It's pretty much the most brilliant thing in this movie, and then it just goes right back to being super rapey.
Of course. But I think we're talking about rapey. Let's go ahead and move to the second one, because I honestly think it is a bit rapier.
Because he's really trying to rape in that one.
But this is a bit rapier in the adult rape sort of genre.
Like the less Catholic Church kind of rape, more
less Freddy
prison.
Krueger. Yeah, exactly.
And the second one was called Big Top Pee Wee, and it's from 1988. It is not done by Tim Burton. I thought it was at first, but Randall Kleiser actually did Grease. He did Flight of the Navigator, which is one of Mark's favorite
I love
movies.
Flight of the Navigator.
I don't know that I've ever seen it, and if I have, it's been a long time.
The fucking eyeball thing with the fucking detached retina.
Ew.
He also did White Fang and Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. Or Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. Yeah, he does it, some, not really good, but like they were
classics, or at least to me they are, just because I thought they were awesome.
Well, White Fang is definitely a classic.
Well, right. But I fucking
love
Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
Definitely.
Yeah, Grease, obviously, undisputed.
Yeah, but and undisputed.
The movie Undisputed.
Yeah.
So
and Ving Rhames in that.
Ving
Rhames, yeah, Rhames buttholes.
In this one, you have Chris Christopherson, of course, as Mace Montana.
Fucking Mace.
And
what kind of name is that?
Valeria Golino, who you probably would recognize from the Hot Shots movies.
And
Ramona.
Loaning people her various
moles.
Yeah.
Right.
So gross.
And then Susan Tyrrell was from Cry Baby.
Benicio
del Toro was the dog face man.
I fucking know. So I was like, I'm watching
Kevin Peter Hall?
Yeah.
The gigantic black guy, that's the dude that played the Predator.
I didn't know he was strong.
Yep.
And he's real dead. He's really dead too, by the way. Since we have to mention, he died of AIDS. AIDS death.
And then one of the, to be even more washed up, one of the children that the old people shrink into is Dustin Diamond.
Yeah.
Fucking Screech.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. To talk about Pee Wee, it's totally not as good as Big Adventure.
No, it sucked. I sat through the whole movie watching it today going, this movie fucking sucks. All through it. But the whole story is basically this. Pee Wee now lives on a farm, and his awesome bike that he searched the world for is non-existent.
Yeah.
But he has a talking pig, and he has magical fruits and shit growing in his farm.
But there's no inventions or anything like that in his house.
I feel like there's probably a ton of symbolism in here that we're just ignoring. I think we should continue to ignore it, because it's probably super scary.
Yeah, like something like, this is what happens when you're Pee Wee Herman. You lose everything, and
you end up being a fucking scary farmer who
the entire town
scientist.
fucking hates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the whole town. And then he's been doing experiments with food so he can grow superfood. So he's basically
hot dogs on a tree.
Yeah, hot dogs on a tree and like water a tomato and it grows massively in 10 seconds.
Yeah. And he's like, pretty soon we'll be able to feed a family with one tomato a year.
Yeah.
It's like, who the fuck is going to eat a tomato every day for the rest of the year?
Really poor people.
I guess so.
I guess he'd have to be pretty fucking poor, but yeah.
And he has this stupid fucking pig that sounds like Fat Albert.
Splendid! I'm very satisfied with these results, Pee Wee.
And the guy who does his voice is like
set designer
from Beekman's World.
And his Pee Wee's Playhouse
what
show.
What a sad accomplishment. Oh yeah, dude, I was the set designer for Beekman's World. He set at a party and then got fucking left.
Yeah.
The fucking old people in the town, whenever he goes to the fucking to get a cheese sandwich or whatever, he's being so mean to him. Pee Wee's gotta have a pickle. Your game's over. Flips it over.
Yeah,
Such an asshole.
They're complete assholes anyway. And the fact that, and one of them is Happy Gilmore's grandmother, by the way,
and who's also really dead,
super dead.
The storm comes and a circus just blows into Pee Wee's farm.
All just complete.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pee Wee's farm,
Pee Wee Herman had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. With a and a here a there a everywhere a Pee Wee Herman had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. Ah!
He cannot say a complete sentence without going ah,
because he's mildly retarded.
He can't be mildly retarded. He has to be like autistic savant.
Super genius.
That's what I'm thinking. Super genius that makes superfood, but talks to animals and tells them to make their beds.
His education was like, he doesn't even have a degree.
Agricultural junior
college. Yeah.
Which is the equivalent of getting a degree from the University of Phoenix online. Like, they print you off a certificate that they, like, mail to you in a shoebox.
Just on purpose to make it even shittier.
Yeah. And, like,
we ran out of ink. Sorry, toner was low.
Every day he goes to eat lunch with his fiancée, and that's the only time he ever spends with his fiancée is every day,
exactly.
30
every
minutes
single day at lunch.
And he's just trying to pound it, and she won't let him.
Well, maybe spend more time with her than just only lunchtime, and then immediately leave and never see her for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But
do something else.
And you wonder why, like, they have nothing in common.
I made your favorite.
Fried chicken!
No.
Hamburgers?
No, your favorite, Pee Wee.
Cheese sandwich!
No.
I know, turkey a la king.
No.
Vegetarian plate.
No.
Shepherd pie?
No.
Olive loaf.
No.
Can't think of anything else.
I give up.
It's egg salad, darling.
Egg salad, my favorite!
Clearly not his favorite, as he takes one bite of it and throws it into the woods.
Yeah, and like stealth bomb drops it into the woods.
It went really far.
It did.
I like later on when she catches him kissing the Italian chicken, she just pegs egg salad sandwiches
directly into the creek.
I was like, that's litter. Brandy would hate that.
It's biodegradable. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's egg salad. What animal's going to really eat that? I like egg salad.
But it was still in the plastic wrap, too. It was still in the little bags.
Okay, never mind, you're right then.
They bring the circus people to the town because, you know, they have to... They're on, like, a small vacation to get recuperated or whatever.
Because they just got Wizard of Oz into Pee Wee's fucking farm.
Right, and they're taking up his house and stuff, and there's, like, a line to the bathroom, and Pee Wee's trying to get in it, and the guy's like, there's a line here. Like, motherfucker, get out. Like, everyone else can stay but you.
You should go in there and just piss right on him. Yeah? Well, fuck you.
Take
your bearded lady and get the fuck
out. Go to the
out.
back of it.
Yeah. If you don't like it, you can get out.
Get the fuck out of here. Go outside and stand and waiting for it to rain.
And then Chris Christopherson's like, we're not putting you out, are we? He's like, oh, no. And then the midget, like, hits him at the door. And he's like, One part about this movie...
Gross midget.
That was crazy. Oh, yeah, Mark hates that midget.
It is the grossest fucking midget you'll ever see in your life. You can't understand.
I don't know whether it's a male or female.
It's
honestly.
a dude. It's a dude. I had to read to find out. Like, I had to IMDb that tiny troll fucker.
Still, it could have been a woman. You don't.
He also played Alf in the Alf suit.
Ooh. So you know he's the ugliest because he didn't even get to show his face in that show.
Yeah.
He's basically the replacement for somebody's hand.
It's a goddamn tiny terror troll.
One of the crazy things about this, I was talking to him about, was they actually use a real hippo in this movie.
I thought he was going to jizz in his pants over
you
this
never,
fucking hippo.
You never see that because of the...
Because they're insanely fucking
dangerous.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Because they bite alligators in half, like, not even giving a shit.
And, like, you just tell how pissed it is throughout the entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they just show it, and it's just like...
It's chasing that pig, and they're like, well, if it catches the pig, it's probably going to rape it / eat it.
Yeah, rip it in half, throw it into space.
It is going to hungry hippos, that whole town.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, that hippo is trying to rape that pig.
Yeah,
chases
the entire
the pig
time.
through the whole movie.
Well, they even talk about it. He's like, well, I just...
He's like, oh, Zsa Zsa's taking quite a liking to your pig, and then the pig's like, just running by.
Get the fuck out of here.
But I'm really just surprised that they used a hippo.
Yeah, like the fucking old woman was telling him that he was attempted murder charge. It's like, that's actually somewhat legit.
Yeah, because she turned around, the hippo's just glaring at her.
Just eating.
Right. And then I remember...
missing of the legs.
Well, I remember watching, like, I guess it would have been in, like, 94 or whatever, when Congo came out. And they wouldn't use the hippos in Congo. They'd use the machine
animatronic hippos.
Because they said, we can't use real hippos, because they'll really destroy everything.
Well, we could use them, but... And only in Pee Wee's Big Top.
FSU.
Well, now they don't even put like the real big hippos in zoos and shit anymore because they're just so destructive. They put like the little teeny ones, the little pygmies. Yeah.
It's
like because
those are still pretty fucking big.
They literally kill more people in Africa than anything else. Like,
it's dangerous as hell. You'd
nuts.
I just fucking remember the
I love how this
part.
turned into like Discovery Channel.
It is Discovery Channel.
Yeah,
it is. What about the fucking jackals? There aren't any in fucking Virginia. But anyways, the fucking
band jackal, chainsaw guitar.
Goddamn right, jackals.
This is the same conversation that we had in like the second podcast ever.
Fucking bones and fucking plasterhead.
We're talking about jackals being in West Virginia, and then we talk about the band jackal being in West Virginia.
Oh my gosh.
Which is way more of a possibility.
Motion picture deja vu.
More likely. Yeah. But the fucking beginning of this movie when he's having a dream about being like Frank Sinatra for some reason. And then when he's leaving the fucking venue or whatever, he's dressed as Abraham Lincoln. Nobody cares. So that one person there's like, oh, Mr. Lincoln, can I get your autograph?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, sure. And then as soon as they find out he's fucking Pee Wee, they just gotta fucking
they're like, oh, look, it's Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, look, it's the guy that fucking died a million years ago. Right. We're not surprised at all to see Abraham Lincoln's zombie / ghost.
Yeah, and then finally they get the circus all set up and ready to go, and Pee Wee's got to convince these townspeople, because they're going to arrest him if they don't get the circus out, and somehow he has to convince the town people to go to the circus, and
they're all fucks.
Oh yeah, he's a super dickhead, and like... Oh, when all the circus people come to the store, they just want to get supplies, you know.
Racist.
And he just looks at them and...
25 pounds oatmeal. We don't have any oatmeal. 40 yards of twine. We're all out of twine. 30 cans of tomato soup. We don't carry soup.
What's all that?
Sorry, we're closed.
And every time he says they don't have anything, you can like clearly see the shit in the back of the show.
Yeah, the giant Quaker Oats cans. And
the twine all wrapped up and shit.
And there's like literally exactly 30 cans of tomato soup up top. You know,
sorry, we're closed. Get the fuck out. And then like as soon as they leave, like townspeople walk in and just buy shit.
Yeah, they said they're closed. Don't go in. What do you mean closed? It's 3 o'clock. You're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You're in the circus. You're obviously a retard.
And they won't serve him. Benicio del Toro's pissed.
Yeah. I wouldn't serve him either. He was fucking goddamn werewolf-looking motherfucker.
Until he goes into the hunted mode.
With his rock knife and
just murders everyone.
Yeah. And then turns into the wolf from the Wolfman while on acid and mescaline hanging out with fucking Johnny Depp. Fear and Loathing and Pee Wee Herman's Big Top.
And then gets a swirly.
Yeah.
So to get the people to go, Pee Wee accidentally designs this thing that can make food smaller.
Hot dog tree.
So he takes his hot dog tree and puts the ingredients in it and makes the hot dogs not so gigantic.
Yeah.
It's like
cocktail wieners.
Yeah.
And so he brings the cocktail wieners to the store, and he pretends that he's all on their side now. They're all accepting of Pee Wee now. And for some reason,
they're cool with it.
Yeah, they're just
because he said he was just going to be exactly like them.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
But like, that's exactly what he says, Philip. He walks in, he's like, "I'm just going to be just like you guys now."
They're like, "Thank God, God, I'm so sick of you being like yourself."
Right. So he gives them all the cocktail wieners, and they
poisons them essentially.
Right, and right before they all start shrinking into little kids, one of them says,
"Those are the best wieners I've ever tasted."
And of course, Steven and I look at each other and just start laughing like Beavis and Butthead as soon as we hear
that. He had to say taste it too.
But
he just said eat.
Yeah, this goes back to what we've mentioned several times about think about the shit that you write down in the script before you fucking put it on the
Say
movie.
it out loud and just be like, no, that's definitely a cock joke.
For a child's movie, like a little kid's
movie.
What the
fuck? They knew what they were doing with this shit. Goddamn Pee Wee's Big Top, when he gets laid, there's a train going into the tunnel, exploding lava.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, you know Pee Wee pulled out and blew a load on her team.
Yeah, that's
he hosed her.
And that's like
he Pee-Weed all over
there was
her face.
What was the other movie where that happened? Or like somebody had sex and there was like oil derricks going off and stuff.
I don't know. They do that shit all the time.
Right. It was like a Val Venus video coming out. Coming out from the WWE. But that's basically what it was. But yeah, you're absolutely right. They knew exactly. They were not gearing that toward little kids to watch this movie.
Kids were watching that movie going,
why is there a train going into
Why is there a train? And then the parents are sitting there going,
what that guy say about tasting wieners?
And then like 2 years later, he gets arrested for pounding it in the middle of the fucking nudie movie booth.
Yeah.
And gets arrested. And I was talking about how like he was just jerking off where people jerk off in the jerk off booth at a movie theater and in the adult movie theater, whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, Steven made a good point. If you're a host for a children's TV show, don't whip your dick out.
Anywhere.
Yeah. But just keep it in there.
Especially in public. Especially in a theater of any kind.
Well, didn't the guy from Blue's Clues had some issue with that too? Wasn't he like a porn star or something? And
no, he was a cokehead.
Well, no, he was doing porn too, and they found out, and that's why they changed the host. And
cokehead.
Well, maybe he was a coke porn star.
Maybe it was just a cokehead, Steven.
Maybe.
Just disagreeing.
I just knew there was porn involved.
There could have been, but I mean, you think about it. That dude was talking to invisible cartoons that weren't there. That motherfucker's on something.
Real time!
He was kind of like the new Pee Wee Herman, though.
Yeah, only... No, he was way rapier.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like...
I don't think there's any way to compare them as far as rapiness.
No, but what I'm saying is, he was like the Pee Wee Herman of the 90s, almost.
Yeah.
Or I guess 2000s too. I don't know. I don't know.
That was the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s. But Pee Wee Herman's still like Paul Reubens is still doing Pee Wee Herman stuff. Like last year, he had the Pee Wee Herman Broadway.
Mm-hmm. He still does it. He still plays Pee Wee Herman and things everywhere he goes. I mean, he calls himself Pee Wee. He has adopted that as his identity.
Well, and he's a lot like Jim Varney in the sense that he's created a pop culture icon.
Straight took over his fucking personality.
Yeah, like. Ernest and Pee Wee are both pop culture icons.
But what would happen if they were in a movie together?
Oh, God.
It
would be the most obnoxious fucking movie in the world, but there would be flying turtles.
Oh, of course there would be.
It would be awful. It would be so awful.
Or it might be the greatest movie ever made.
Somebody raise Jim Varney from the dead. We need to make this fucking happen. Like, I have to see this.
With that being said, gets the circus, succeeds, and then that's the end of the movie. There's no clue.
Like they don't. It's like, oh, so these townspeople are just children now. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
They don't do any. They do the circus, and you don't know whether Pee Wee goes. You don't know whether he stays. You don't know whether because that was like a big part of the movie was what happens whenever the circus is over? Is Pee-wee going to leave?
They kept talking about it, yeah.
Yeah, or is he going to stay?
Well, I mean, it was because he was failing it. He was going to leave, but he just sucked at everything that had to do with the circus.
She was like, well, what about your farm and all your farm animals and friends and stuff? He's like, well, I can't leave them behind and stuff.
Well, I mean, it's a circus. It's not like they can bring
But they kind of alluded to the fact that he was going to go with them because they said they called it the Barnyard Circus.
That's true.
And all of his animals were a part of it. So I would imagine. So I mean, he did do the high wire act with his horse walking across that shit, which was the shittiest green screen.
There was a ram too.
Yeah, awful green screen. It was almost as bad as the green screening whenever the flower was growing in the beginning, the plant or whatever.
God.
So shitty,
insanely.
But
the green screening for the wife of Mace Montana,
Midge Montana,
tiny midget Montana.
Yeah, we were talking about how did they fuck. Because she's 4 inches tall.
No,
I said the only way that she could jerk him off is she got to climb up that motherfucker with the little ninja hand things, and then zip line on his dick.
Basically,
yeah,
and
that's
then
it.
What's she gonna do?
And what if he's uncircumcised? She get trapped in there and just smother herself.
I said that he uses a cotton swab or a Q-tip.
Oh, there you go.
How's that cotton swab feel? Clean.
And wouldn't think that we would have to address such a thing, but there is sex in the movie, so
right.
Just saying.
And
you can suspend disbelief.
Well, not only that, but the Chris Christopherson and her elude to them that they actually do stuff.
Did have sex.
Oh yeah, Ooh, they do. Ooh,
because she's like,
no touching the goods, honey, except for you, Mace. And he's like, I'll touch them later.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and crush her and squish her fucking intestines out of her ears. You big giant Chris Christopherson bastard.
Scary as fuck.
You poor man's Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Welfare Kurt Russell.
Extremely poor man's non-successful Kurt Russell. Pee Wee's Pig Top.
Pee Wee's Pig Top. Which is pretty much how it is. Definitely not as good.
No. Pee Wee's Big Adventure is good. Tons of fun. Pee Wee's Big Top Pee Wee. Pee Wee's Pig Top is shitty.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's shitty.
It is.
It's shitty, and it's way more... I feel like there's a lot more scary allusion to things. There's just so many more... innuendo, and it's just way more non-appropriate for children. Even though I believe the first one to be much scarier, at least there is not constant rape suggestion.
Yeah, and just adult themes in general.
Just constant. Just trains going in the tunnels.
Right. Well, that's pretty much all the time we have for today, so...
Yeah, I'm done talking about this shit.
Joining me today, I've got Marge Sarkin, Phil O'Connell. First one. What's the first one? I'm seeing the rest of the week, and we'll see you next time.